All right, Spark Drivers, 1 year looking back. It's been interesting. It's a great gig if you like working by yourself, and especially during a pandemic. You know, when I started, I was doing Uber Eats, and I was just thankful I was able to work. And we all know, being an independent contractor, people ask you, like, well, what do you make on an average day? And it's like, it varies. And you're like, no, what do you make? Like, just give me an idea. And it's like, I can't. You know, you could make $100 one day, 150. One day you make 30 because there's a system error, something like that. But with Spark Delivery, I didn't even know about it because I moved to this state last year, and I read about it. And I was like, interesting, because you're using your own vehicle, which is nice because you don't have to return anything or deal with, like, if another driver uses the vehicle and they got a mess all over, stuff like that. Because I know my dad had to deal with that when he was a truck driver. People just leave their trash everywhere and it's like, it stinks. But anyways, yeah, if you have a family of your own, hopefully your spouse works as well and maybe has more of a steady income, because with this job it's great, like, if you need extra money, some spending cash. If you're single, you can certainly make a living at it, but it's just, like I've said in past videos, it has a lot of potential, the app and the work, and I'd like to see it definitely move more towards shopping and delivery, but have that be an option, just like your zone now. So you could say, well, I'd love to do shopping and delivery, or I just want to do delivery, because I think that's fair. And it's just little things like that. Give us options. Give us more feedback. I want paperwork every month showing me customer comments directed at the drivers, stuff like that, more detailed reports and such. And because we're just not getting that kind of feedback. Like, don't have customers rate us if we're not going to see comments. We're just the middle person. They shop, they pick the order, we drop it off, what they picked, and that's it. Because we're just not given a lot of details about stuff. But it's funny, I wrote this down the other day. I had a rollover tip from last September. And the rest of the day I'm like, if that keeps happening, like throughout last year and the beginning of this year, just like, oh, they did tip, and for whatever reason, it just, because they have a 14-day tip window. So I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, well, that's more than 14 days. That's several months. But yeah, I know I'm not telling you how not to get deactivated per se. It's just from what I've read, what I've heard from other people. One thing is, don't get an attitude with anybody. With a customer, with Walmart associates, when you call the store, because those three, one report sometimes, if your metrics are bad, let's say, and you could be out of the game. And I know it can be very, very frustrating, but just be cool in that. Because when I started, if you watch my video, when I said, I almost quit my first day, that's no clickbait, that's a fact. In fact, I deleted the app off of my phone. I was so frustrated. But I called the store and I was like, I understand the order's got to get swapped because the employee loaded it wrong. I didn't insult anybody. So yeah, it's one thing that helps. Just being cool and saying, thank you. And because if, they're behind on orders and such in the store, it's like, it seems like it'd be easy for there to be a feature, an option that we could help out, like pick an order. Like, they haven't even started yet. Because, it's not their fault per se. They're running behind. People call out all the time, during the pandemic and such. And not enough employees, short-staffed, people quit left and right. And it's not our fault either. But just maintain your cool. I noticed that helps. Because, going back to when I started, my metrics were like in the orange, and one of them I think was red, maybe. Just because those things weren't communicated with me. but you put grocery bags in front of the door, people open it, they're like, what the heck? Little things like that. But the point being, I wasn't deactivated, and I thought I was going to be, for sure. Because when you start out and you're already in like 3.7 something, 3.5, it's like, eesh, for a customer rating in that. But now it's been a year, and there aren't really any like cheat codes to this, because at least here, before, you could pick up an order early. You could call the store and they'd check you in and load stuff up, but then you still have to wait until the actual pickup time to scan the items and to scan the orders in. And now they stopped doing that, at least here. And but even before, it's like you still had to wait. But the nice thing is, like, once 40 hits after the hour, then you could just scan and then deliver. But yeah, I'm hoping that the app evolves. There's progress. I don't like the automated responses on the reviews on the App Store. And thanks for your feedback. It's like when people are telling you the same thing over and over, just like you're watching a podcast and the first 1,000 comments are like, I can't hear you well. If you're doing like a live podcast or something, people are telling you like the video's bad, it's out of focus. And it's like, if you don't care, then just shut comments off. If you're not going to listen to people. People are telling you, hey, I can't hear you. Little things like that. So with this, it's like, oh, well, I can't work in the zone. It's sending me to a store like 30 miles away. The reviews I read are just ridiculous, what people go through. And it's unfortunate. And especially when you hear about like DoorDash and Uber getting offers. But I think it should be like, let's say you do get an attitude with somebody for whatever reason. With me, it's like 3 strikes and you're out. And it also depends on your metrics as well. But I read these things about people getting deactivated and they're like, all my metrics were good. And if they get an attitude with somebody, they should be schooled on like how to deal with a situation per se. And just keep your cool, because none of this is personal. Hopefully. Unless an employee doesn't like you and they're like, I'm not going to pick this order. But just be aware of your attitude and keep your cool, and don't yell at anybody about anything. And if a customer does get an attitude with you, which thankfully I haven't encountered, but I don't really encounter our customers because we just drop off and then take off in that. But just keep your cool, because odds are they're going to come around. They're just having a bad day or something. It's nothing personal, and they'll feel bad. Maybe they'll call the store, but even then, we don't get that information. Isn't relayed to us if a customer has a comment or something. And it's so simple these days, communication. So I'm very confused, and because you have an excuse like, oh, the app, it's not that old, it's it's still pretty new. It's like, right, but the technology has been around for a while. And it's easy to be like, oh, this person said this person said that. But yeah, it's pretty wild out there. Because it's when you like don't get offers and your metrics are good and you're like, am I doing something wrong? And then you call support and they can't give you an answer. They're like, no, your metrics are great, bro. You're doing everything fine. That happened to me. And I said, I don't know if there's an issue with the app, and just that, like I've said in another video, the live updates. It's so easy, so simple. Just let us know what's going on with anything all the time. And if it's easier, if it's automated, so they'll be like, well, this order they're picking is 100 items and they've got 24 picked and you're already at your pickup time. And it sucks when you have to drop an order and such and they give you that list of reasons, and if it's not on there, if it's just other, it's like, we should be able to communicate what it is. And but the best thing you can do is always call support if you're unsure of something and let them jot down in the notes. So if a customer gets an attitude with you, let's say, or a Walmart employee for whatever reason, call support and just give them your side of the story and just say, this is what I did, this is what I said, this is how I responded. And don't say like, oh, well, they're a piece of, crap in that. Just give them your side. And that way they can be, oh, okay. But, yeah, it sucks because when people comment about their frustrations, it's like I can't reel people in to stay. What can you say? Like, oh, it's great, you get offers every hour and the pay's great, and it's good, like I said, if you're a single person, if you have like no pets or anything, no family of your own and such. But yeah, hopefully I'm sure we'll see some changes eventually, but the updates haven't really been updates for the most part, and there have been quite a few in the year that I've been doing this. But yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and want to hear your story as well. And I like making these videos a lot, and I'm glad I didn't start at the beginning because I didn't really know what I was doing. These are all things that I just picked up, thought of over time and such, and just to help you. And especially when you're starting out and you're like, I just hauled like 20 cases of water, and there's got to be a way to make this easier. And I'm like, oh yeah, have a wagon cart. That's one item I suggest that every driver have. Little things like that. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Leave some feedback below. I'd love to hear from you. Like this video up. Subscribe for more. I will see you next time. Keep on sparking. Here's to hopefully another year.